Hello and good morning. It's Jamie with Gardens and Getaways. Today is Monday, April the 27th. I'm in North Carolina Zone 7B. I'm excited to get back out in the garden. We have had some weird weather here in North Carolina. So it's April. It's pretty much not rained the entire month, which is very odd for us. So everything's been dry. And then we've had days up into the 90s, which is also odd. And then we've had days where it's still getting into the 30s at night. So nobody knows what to do in this weather. So we're just making it work. So I'm out here in the small garden. I want to kind of give a quick garden tour. This is where I usually do my garden tours, but I've also got something exciting to share. So come along and I will show you what's going on. I'm so excited about this year. 2026 is going to be the best garden year yet. I just know it. So first things first, ignore the fact that I need to mow out here, but I have all of this beautiful bok choy. I had struggled to grow bok choy in the past, so this year I had gotten some light towers for inside. I said, you want to know what? I'm going to grow from seed, start it early, which I did, but I didn't think it would all live because I've had trouble with it, but look how beautiful these little bok choys are. They're all doing relatively well. So hopefully we'll have some of this here soon. A couple of them look like they might be getting a little leggy, probably because of the 90-degree days, but they have definitely enjoyed the cooler weather at night. So I've got that going on. I planted some seashell cosmos. I had started these inside. I'm excited to see them open up. They're supposed to be like some pinks and whites. A friend of mine gave me these feed barrels, which we have turned into grow pots, and another friend of mine gave me some peanuts. So I've never grown peanuts before. I don't think she had either. It's just kind of one of those experimental things. We'll see how they turn out. That was kale. It had overwintered. It is dead now. Ignore that. This is all of the garlic that I had planted. I planted like 52 bulbs of garlic back in October. I went to a garlic growing class at my local cooperative extension. It seems to really be doing well. You can see some of the hardneck garlic is starting to get the scapes on them. This will come out and do a big curl. We'll cut those off. There is soft neck over here and then some hard neck. The soft neck is not quite as large. You can see how big this hardneck stalk is. Looking beautiful. These are also hardneck, but these were pieces that I had saved from the grocery store. So I said, let me experiment, see how those grow. Obviously not quite as good as the Hoss garlic that I've gotten here. I've got Hoss and Keen garlic. I have some sugar magnolia snap peas from Botanical Interest going up over the cattle panel. More garlic on this side. I have had a little bit of problem with the pill bugs, so I was kind of letting this one be my sacrificial one to them in hopes that they wouldn't move on, but they have moved on to this one. So guess what? I'm going to have to put something out here to combat those pests because I don't want them eating all my garlic. Get this cute flag I got from Hoss in my subscription box. I absolutely love my Hoss subscription box. I definitely plant things that I would not usually plant or try because of what I've gotten in that subscription box. Got some dill here. It's doing well. A couple carrots. I had poor germination on these, so I came back through and sowed a couple other kinds, and they're starting to come up. I think a lot of the germination was likely because we have had no rain, and carrots need some moisture to germinate. So it's been a little hard getting seeds started. I'm definitely glad that I started a bunch of my seeds over the winter inside. That has helped some. And I'm glad that I got this garlic started previously. But what do you do? Had some extra bok choys that I threw in, some basil that I had started inside, a broccoli that I had started inside. I think the temperature swings have really just deterred that from doing well. A couple other of the cosmos. These will be really pretty later in the season. This is a very large dahlia, comes back every year. Put a couple more cosmos in the back, so that's going good. Another issue, oh, that sun is bright. Another issue that I've had this year is that the deer are coming and eating flowers out of my garden that they have never touched before, like ornamental lilies and thorny roses, because there's no rain here. There's nothing for them to drink. So, another battle. So yeah, right now pretty much my garden beds on this side, I have 5 of the Vago garden beds over here. 2 of them are totally taken up by garlic. 1 of them totally by bok choy, and the other 2 are just kind of random stuff. Most of my grow bags have potatoes in them. The other grow bags have some dying kale, which I'm gonna put something else in those soon. I'll kind of talk about that at the end of this video. But this area is getting a little small, so we expanded. Before I share the expansion, I want to show you this. Also, the deer are so bad here. I literally have fences around everything. So it looks not so aesthetic all the time. But I've got 2 blueberry bushes that seem to be doing well. And then along the other part of our fence line, I've started growing blackberries. And these have a ton of flowers. Hopefully we'll get some rain so they kind of, you know, get a little larger. I think that's been my struggle with my berries this year, but I'm trying to do a lot of perennial stuff. I've got blackberries, blueberries, I've got some strawberries, I've got asparagus. Trying to get those things in the ground that might take a lot of work up front, but come back year after year after year. Letting the little girls out for the first time. They're not sure about it. Big girls don't care. Hey, babies. Yes, so this is what I have been working on all winter, trying to get stuff ready so I didn't have to buy plants this year to plant. So I've got some chamomile. I'm going to really try to do some plants for like a tea garden. Some basil, Thai basil, couple different kinds of peppers. We've got tomatillos. I've got some slicing tomatoes from Haas. I've got some sun gold, I think is what they're called. Cherry tomatoes, all different kinds of peppers going on. A girlfriend of mine had given me a couple other types of, we did different types of peppers and tomatoes, and then we traded. I've got some holy basil, which I'm really excited about, yarrow, some torch sunflowers. This was kind of an experiment with brassicas. I'm probably not going to do anything with this, but that's okay. I had some more cilantro, like I said, from seed from last year that I had saved, some dill. So I got to get all this stuff in the ground because it's almost May here. Although we're supposed to have another night of like 39 degrees, which is pretty frustrating. I keep some nice pots on my back porch. This is all stuff that overwintered other than these nasturtiums that I planted from seed. And I've got some more seeds that I've started here. So we've got some Persian cucumbers, painted daisies, loofah, which I'm excited about this year, yellow nasturtiums, limelight squash, and borage. A couple of these one of my girlfriends gave me. We've got vanilla ice sunflowers, some foxglove coming up, which look, I did not realize they were so tiny. Can you see that? It won't even like focus really on it. So tiny, but excited to start that from seed. We'll see how it goes. Some hollyhock, a different type of dill, this tetra dill. It's supposed to be a lot bushier. Black Magic Bachelor buttons. I just really wanted these for like flower arrangements. I think they're so pretty. Got some more lettuce started. These are teddy bear sunflowers. We've got some calendula for the tea garden, 2 different kind, and some feverfew. These also are very tiny little plants. And look at the green stalk and all of her glory. Give her a little spin here. This thyme has overwintered. We've got a couple different kinds of lettuce here. All of these came from Haas, and they have all done wonderful. I did start them from seed inside. Let's spin it around. I've got them labeled. This year I'm labeling stuff so I do not forget what it is. We've got Harmony Butterhead. This is called Muir lettuce. This is some romaine. Let's find the tag for this one. Tahama lettuce. And then this is like a Cherokee purple lettuce or something like that. Where'd the tag go? Where did the tag go? Who knows? I've got it wrote down though. That's the other thing I'm doing. I'm keeping a garden journal this year and writing stuff down. This thyme overwintered. It smells lovely. This sage overwintered. I just left stuff in pots to see what would come back. And then I stuck in a little bit of holy basil there. These flowers overwintered, looking beautiful. I put a Mexican torch sunflower here, hoping that does well. This is called Dusty Miller, and then we've got some Creeping Jenny, and I've got some, I think this is I call it bee balm. I'm not sure that that's what that is. It came to me in a flower arrangement, and I saved the seeds from it. So, lots of stuff in the pots I'm very excited about. We've got quite a bit going on, quite a bit, but that's not it. So you may have heard me speak on this before. We live kind of on a mountainish area. It's very rocky, very bad dirt. It's like red clay. You're hitting rocks all the time. But we had this area beside our house that we had tried garden before. But it was too shady because there were all these trees here. So we got the trees taken down. Look at this. My husband built me this. Hold on. Still a little tight because it's new. Somebody gave us this gate. We repurposed it. They didn't want it anymore because a tree or something had fallen on it. Anywho, I'm all for using whatever. But so we had some trees taken down. So you can see this area had quite a few trees. So it was casting shade over this area that we had tried to plant before. So we're going to try to replant this area. We're going to do corn, okra, and beans. So we'll have some big areas of corn, okra, and beans. And then over here, we've got all of these raised beds. I am going to do cattle panel arches between them. I'm going to do tomatoes in these buckets and stake them pretty well. And I'm going to do cattle panel arches here. Once again, big fence because deer. All the time. Drive me crazy. They're so beautiful, but they drive me crazy. And to fill them, okay, so we got the trees cut down. We have a wood chipper, so we wood chipped a bunch of stuff just to kind of get rid of it, clean it up. We're under a burn ban, so we tried to do the pathways with that. We're going to have to do some more. We went and got some compost to fill all the buckets, like a truckload of compost. But in the bottom of all of these raised beds, we have like twigs and leaves and things just to kind of fill them up a little bit. I've got some other grow bags over there. I'm thinking about trying a strip of peppers right here. But I really want this to be like a cross walkway here. So we'll see. But it turned out so good. It's so big. So my goal today is to get this planted out because those tomatoes are too big for the pots that I've got them on the back porch. Where'd they go? Behind that bush. So we're going to work on getting that in the ground. We're going to work on getting some seeds in the ground. Yeah. I hope I can get it all done. Now we're in the strawberry patch. Once again, large fence because of deer. It's the only thing that frustrates me about gardening up here. I love our land. I love our property. But all the fences, it looks kind of raggedy sometimes. But it's what we have to do because I don't want to lose all these plants. I spend so much time on it. But you may remember last year, I did a of these strawberries and I come through and I just mowed them down because they were getting out of hand. But you can see they're already getting out of hand. I have picked 2 large bowls of strawberries out of here. Now keep in mind we haven't had much rain, so my berries are pretty small. But look, I mean, I can come out here anywhere and it's just strawberry all over the place. They're everywhere and they look so good. So I'm going to mow them down again this fall. That seemed to really work well. They didn't mind it at all. The other thing we have here is asparagus. My asparagus, this is its 2nd year, so I did not pick any. I'm just letting it fern out. It looks a little raggedy, but look how thick those stalks are. I probably could have ate these 2, but 2 asparagus isn't going to feed me, my husband, and teenage boys very well. So I said, you want to know what? I'm just letting them go this year, and hopefully next year they'll fill out more. I don't feel like all my asparagus came back, and I'm wondering if it's just the lack of rain that we've had and the odd weather. I'm hoping next year that asparagus patch is a little bit fuller, but we'll just have to see how it does. The other thing that hasn't come back yet from last year is my fig tree, which makes me kind of sad. But my mom said they don't always open up as soon as some of the other trees. So we'll see. We'll see. So I'm gonna go down here, get my tomatoes, peppers, all this stuff in the ground. We do have one more night, but it's like a week away that it's supposed to be 39 degrees. But I'm gonna risk it. I have to risk it because I work a full-time job. I'm busy with my kids, and I've got to get this stuff in the ground. Like, I can't just keep leaving it in peat pots. I think it'll be okay. If the weather looks like it's gonna be real bad, I'll just come out here and throw like a sheet or something over it to protect it for one night. But I'm gonna put it in the ground today. I'm trying to be better about keeping up with what I'm planning. In my Haus subscription box, I always get stickers. So this is my garden journal. Look how funny these stickers are. I just love them. Let us party. New year, new roots. So I've been keeping up with stuff. I've been taking notes on plants. I did notes on the garden that I did last year. This was an afterthought, so I didn't do good about that. I've done notes on flowers that I've grown. Right now, I've got a plan for the garden up there. So I'm going to try to follow this plan, and obviously if I make any changes to it when I'm planting these seeds or planting out these plants, then I'll write it down so I can keep up with it this year. The goal this year is to know what I have growing where. Sometimes I plant stuff and I'm like, oh, I'm not really sure. Or I'll plant stuff, or it looks like something's coming up, and I'm like, oh, did I put seeds there? Is it a seed or is it a weed? It's a game that I'm tired of playing. So I'm going to write it down so I will know. So standing from the gate, we've got the before. Also, in an hour, all the shade is gone, so that's good. It's full sun up here for most of the day. So this is our before. And somebody's going to say it. I know they're going to say it. You should grind those stumps. You should get those stumps out of there. And I should. But I'm not, because I don't have a stump grinder. Nor do I have a ton of money to do that. We already paid a ton of money to get the trees taken down just so we can get some sunshine up there. So, they will rot eventually. And that's why I did raised beds on around most of those stumps. Because that won't matter, because they'll have the dirt from the raised beds and not from the actual soil. So, we're just going to make it work. We're going to make it work. I keep having little random thoughts as I walk from this garden to the back porch where I've been hardening off my plants for a while now. I was going to plant this garden out Saturday because we had beautiful weather. But instead of gardening, we had a little getaway. My husband's uncle has a place down at North Myrtle, so we ran down there for like less than 40 hours, a little beach getaway, but it was so nice. I'll put a little video clip in of the beautiful ocean. When you're planting, it is important to consider some things. Obviously, sun and lighting, which is why we had these trees taken out. I had told you before this area was shady and it'll start to get sunny, which it's doing now, and you can kind of see. The other thing that's important to consider is, do you have a water source that's going to reach your garden, especially when we're in these drought type conditions? You need to make sure you have that. We've got the tomatillos planted. These grow bags are pretty large, so I'm trying 2 in 1 just to get some extra production. We'll see if it works. I put one of my torch sunflowers there with what I'm calling bee balm behind it. I think it might have a different name. We'll update on that. And then some more tomatillos in these 3 very large grow bags. So we got some flowers for the pollinators and then something to eat on. I'm working on the tomatoes now. These are feed buckets that I got from a friend of mine at church. So they had cow food in them, rinsed them out, drilled holes in the bottom, and now we're going to use them kind of like grow bags. So use what you got to grow your food. For this tomato row, I've got 2 sun sugars down there. I had started those from seed. This is a San something. Anyways, it's a small paste tomato. Cherokee purple and aroma tomato. These three are ones that I got from a friend of mine, so we just traded. She grew some varieties, I grew some varieties, and then we swapped, so that worked out well. When you're planting tomatoes, it's good to plant them deep because all of these little hairs that you see kind of growing up the sides of them will become roots if you let them. So I'm just digging down pretty deep, planting them up to their bottom leaves. They'll do just fine. So. And I'm gonna water them in really good. So those sun sugars looked a little bit taller when they were in the peat pots, but like I said, I planted them deep. And there we go. I've got some other tomatoes that I'm gonna do in another raised bed. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 varieties of tomatoes. I'm doing 3 of my slicing, 2 of my cherry tomatoes, 2 paste, and 1 of another big slicer, heirloom Cherokee Purple. Cherokee Purple is my favorite tomato probably, and usually I buy my tomatoes already started. This year, starting from seed, just because it's so much cheaper to do it that way. So hopefully it works out well. I'll keep you posted. I've been out here for a few hours planting and planning. All that wood we're going to burn because we have a wood stove. That's from the trees. That is like not even a fourth of the wood that we got off those trees. We did have a lot of pine, so we'll take that and burn it outside, but we got to cut up that wood for inside. Anywho, so you can see this is all full sun now, so this is where we're going to do the green beans. I've got some pole beans that I'm going to do, so I'm going to set up some rows and netting to do some different types of pole beans. We're going to do corn, we're going to do okra, stuff that you have to plant a lot of to really get a good harvest from. I've got my grow bags planted out. I'm thinking about doing some peppers right along in here because I kind of have like a empty area. I've got 3 of the raised beds planted out. We've got 3 slicer tomatoes. I am going to do a cattle panel arch. This walkway isn't big, but I will say in my other garden, my walkway is too wide. It was a lot of wasted space. So I just want enough to get in there and pick food. So we've got tomatoes that I'm going to try to grow up the trellis. I've got zucchini. This is a limelight zucchini or squash that a friend gave me. I will grow those vertically again this year with stakes. That was really good last year. Second bed, we've got loofah that'll grow up the other side of the cattle panel. I did put some little butterfly peas on there. I want to grow those just to, try. Zinnias, I did a thin row down the middle of seeds I saved last year. And then on this side, I've got some honey nut squash that's going to grow up another cattle panel going to the left. So everything's planted pretty close here, but things are going to go up and up. They're not really going to be hanging out. So that means the cattle panel will come down to this side, to which I have peas that will grow up. And then I've got Blue Lake bush beans on this side that can kind of hang over, bush out this way. And I did plant some holy basil, Tulsi holy basil on each corner. But I'm not going to fill the middle of this row in just because I think the bush beans are going to take up a lot of that space. Thought I had planted a lot of tomatoes. Turns out I have a ton of pepper varieties. Like a lot of pepper varieties. Oh well. It's like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19. Yeah. I've got 19 peppers that I'm going to plant. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different varieties. Hopefully they all grow because I'm going to do them in ground. When you realize you have 19 peppers to plant. 9 varieties. And I still have some more pepper plants there. Maybe we should have made the garden even bigger. It was cold this morning, but now it's hot, so I had to go change into shorts and get some water. This is going to take all day. Peppers are now planted. We had these, well, there's a lumber yard near my house, and so they've always got like scrap wood. This is untreated, just what they've cut off of wood before they finish it out, and it's free. So I took it, broke it to make stakes for all of these pepper plants. So hopefully they work good. They're not exactly even. I might redo it. We'll see. So got that planted, got this planted. Now on to the corn, okra, and beans. Maybe getting a little sunburn out here. I planted 4 rows of this sweet corn from Botanical Interest. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I planted them kind of sparse though. I really wish I would have bought 2 packages of this. I also did a row of sunflowers along the fence line. Those are mammoth sunflowers that I had saved the seeds from last year. And then up this fence line, I put all zinnias that I had saved seed from last year as well to try to just give it a nice pretty border. So I finished up with 4 rows of corn there. I've got 2 rows of okra, a row of dragon tongue beans, and a row of Kentucky Wonder pole beans. I've got like a mesh climbing net that I'm gonna put my pole beans on. And then I got these last 3 garden beds planted out. I've got yellow squash, a limelight squash that a friend gave me. I've got acorn squash that's gonna go over a trellis. The other half of the trellis will have these Persian cucumbers. I've got Senora zinnias that's gonna go in the middle. Those are a pink zinnia that I ordered from Botanical Interest. I've got butterfly peas on each corner that are also going to go over the trellis. And then I've got Calypso pickling cucumbers and the Botanical Interest homemade pickles pickling cucumbers. And then more bush green beans. So everything got planted out today. I am exhausted and it took all day. So me and my son just went and got some strawberries. This is like our 3rd little tub of strawberries out of the strawberry garden. We're going to do some strawberry shortcake for dessert tonight. We're going to have a salad with dinner, so I'm going to come out here and pick some of this lettuce. So I know this was a long video. Thanks for coming along. I'm super excited to see what the garden holds this year as we've expanded to that whole big area up there. It's going to be amazing. So if you're looking forward to having a good garden in 2026, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a blessed day. Thank you.